Welcome to Eyes and Teeth, the world's greatest variety show. I was brought into the world loving variety. I grew up in the 1980s, watching the best of television and the shows that were on at the time. Kenny Everett, the Grumbleweeds, the Keith Harris Show, Bobby Davro, Brian Connolly, Summertime Specials, Spitting Image, The Muppet Show. It literally entertained me and my siblings and my mum and dad in a council house in Basingstoke, Hampshire from the mid-1970s through to the noughties. Today's guest is very special as this podcast wouldn't be here. My career wouldn't be here. My wife and daughters wouldn't be here. Well, my wife would be. But she is, of course, my mum, Sharon Hewlett. Mum of four, friend of the Water Rats and supporter of family, friends, comedy, charity and variety. I know I have inherited her jolly humour and her heart of kindness and love to give happiness to as many people as I can, and I've learnt that from her over the years. I don't know a time when she has done anything for herself. It's always been for others. She never asks for anything. She never needs anything apart from her children or grandchildren. She has been with our dad Terry for 52 years, maybe 53 now. Married for 50 years, 51 now. And as far as we can remember, she has been his carer. His mobility has declined over the latter years, and he is now at 72 diagnosed with almost everything you could possibly endure. I don't know how he could have coped without my mum. She suffers herself with problems, but yet again, she smiles and she jokes, and I guess she covers up her own problems to create a world of humour around her. Today I wanted to include my mum as a guest on Eyes and Teeth. Not only is she a fan of the show, but she's a fan of me. She's my biggest free PR tool. She's been there for me for 48 years and counting. She's the reason I was allowed to do what I do at the start, and she supports me to this day. Still telling her doctors and taxi drivers that her son was on BGT. Welcome to Eyes and Teeth, Sharon Hewlett.
Yeah, love you, Nanny.
In the 70s, whilst courting, they rolled around in the mud. It wasn't at Glastonbury, but on a farm. One night, whilst rolling around naked in a bale of hay, Dad got a pitchfork stuck in his face because Grandad mistook him for a pig's arse. Dad grew up on a farm, as Grandad did. My dad was saddened but relieved to leave the business, especially as I took up ventriloquism. I think it was the last straw. I've done a joke. Why? Tez and Shaz have been through a lot. Of toilet paper. No, they've been through, my dad's been through a lot of Bensons and Hedges. My mum's been through lots of martinis. No, they've been through a lot. Together over the years. They've supported us, 4 kids, and they've also supported those kids' puppets and those kids' children, so their grandchildren. They love their grandchildren a bit, don't you, Terry and Sharon?
Yes.
Yeah, you do, we know you do. You don't even need to say this.
I want to welcome to Eyes and Teeth my mum, Sharon Hewlett.
Hello, Steve. How are you, my little son?
I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sharon Hewlett. I mean, my mum is not only my biggest PR, my cheapest PR tool, but she's also, she's the one who let me go off and do what I wanted to do in the early days, and which is actually what got me where I am today. So I want to talk about my mum, find out how my mum got through life, and then, you know, got 4 children, and one of them turned into a ventriloquist. What the hell did that mean for Sharon Hewlett? So, Mum, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
So you listen to Eyes and Teeth a lot, don't you? Well, my mum is the #1 Eyes and Teeth fan, by the way. But so she's won a place on the show, and you're in the last season of Eyes and Teeth. So it's going to be weird listening to yourself.
It is. I'm going to...
Why are you laughing? She's always laughing, by the way. Can we talk about Queen's Park? Is that where you grew up?
Queen's Park. Queen's Park, I always say that is my... what's the word?
Your park?
No, it's my...
Is that where you grew up? Is that your stomping ground?
Yeah, Queen's Park is where I grew up. My connection to royalty is Queen's Park. I was born in the same hospital that Prince William and Prince Harry was born in.
Oh.
St Mary's, Paddington.
Oh wow!
But that's my connections with royalty.
And is that where it stops?
That's where it stops.
and so the same hospital as Prince William. The connection when I grew up listening to the Beatles, and obviously my dad Terry is always got music on, and growing up as kids, we were, I guess we've had the Beatles ingrained into our brains. And so what do the Beatles mean to you? Because you didn't you chase them around London with my Auntie Mary once?
I did. My auntie was only 2 years older than me, and I was about 6, so she was 8. We used to get on a London tube train going up and down the escalators, on one train, on another train. We never bought any tickets, mind you, and we never found the Beatles.
You didn't find them?
No, we never found them.
Was this when they were at their height? Was it? Was this in the mid-60s?
In the 60s, yeah.
Right, or 62?
My age now.
62?
60, yeah, 62, 1962.
Well, you were 7 then.
Yeah, well, 1961 then.
You were 6?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
blimey,
6.
wow. And so you were left gallivanting around.
All on the undergrounds, yes.
Underground with London.
Underground tubes, up and down the escalators, everywhere, looking for the Beatles. Don't know where we thought we was going to find them, but that's kids for you, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, as I know, because I never met my granddad, but I know that you were... You didn't really have a father figure growing up, did you? Not one that was always in the home.
He left when I was 6. That's mostly why I was looking on the undergrounds, because I wouldn't have been allowed to do that, would I?
Yeah, no, Dad would have kept you home. Yeah, I wouldn't let my 6-year-old go around London on the underground right now.
Yeah.
She's not allowed to walk to the shops on her own. But times have changed, haven't they? And
Definitely.
So, but I mean, you're my nan Lilian, and I remember Nanny Mole as well. I mean, it's such a fun family. Our family side, they're always down to earth and got a smile on their faces.
Funny.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Not stupid, but just really down to earth, fun people, and loving, very loving family.
Oh yeah, we are.
Your brothers and sisters, my aunties and uncles, always looked after us. You know, I stayed at me auntie Debbie's, your sister, just last weekend with my brother Dave.
Fishing.
Yeah, we went fishing, and they looked after us. So we're a very close family.
We are a very close family, even though we're miles apart.
Yeah. And we lost Nan 3 or 4 years ago. She let's talk about Nanny Lily. And what was she like when you were growing up? Because she had a lot of kids to look after.
Well, 7 of us. But I used to help her because she was on her own. So I helped bring up my brothers and sisters, being the eldest the eldest daughter. So I was like a mum to them, but my brother used to say, "You think you're mum, you do."
Did they? That's a good impression,
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Was that Dave?
I always do that. No, that's Steve. My brother
It wasn't
Steve.
as good as I thought then.
Yes, my other Steve.
Yeah, I was named after my uncle Steve, wasn't I?
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because you were really creative when you were younger?
I couldn't think of a name that we both agreed on.
Oh, really?
Mummy and Daddy, yeah.
Yeah, because my brother Dave was named after Uncle David.
Well, he was named after Dave because I didn't want to name him after his daddy because I didn't like Terence.
Oh, okay.
Terry. Didn't want 2 Terrys in the family. One was enough.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No,
if you're listening, Terry, sorry.
He doesn't listen to any of my podcasts,
No.
so don't worry. And so why aren't my sisters called Debbie and Jane?
Because...
Oh, their middle names are, funny enough.
Yeah, the middle names.
Karen Louise and
Karen
Hayley
Louise.
Jane. So they're but not their first names.
No, their first names because I think...
You've been more creative as the
Terry's
years
side
went
of
on.
the family got a bit jealous.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so Karen was named after Terry's sister.
Oh, I see.
But because I was fed up with being told who to name people after,
yeah,
when Hayley came along,
the
we
youngest.
just thought, I was watching telly one day and Hayley Mills was on and I loved her as an actress, and I said to Terry, what about if we have a girl? What about Hayley? He said, yeah, I like that. And it's about the first thing we ever agreed on, I think.
And the last.
And the last, yeah.
Oh, is this a Hayley's named after Hayley Mills?
Yeah.
And John Mills, Sir John Mills, her father, was a water rat. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
No,
at
it
all.
was. Sir John Mills was.
I'm getting to learn everything about the water rats.
Yes, you are. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well, because you're a friend of the water rats, isn't that right? And your son's a water rat. So, and my mum's my friend. Ice and Steve. But there was a lot of humour when Nanny Lilian was around. She was very funny, my nan.
She was, yes.
Right? Hang on. What? Oh, come on, look, you were looking at me. Oh, do you like big ones, Mum? Licky, licky, lolly, lolly. That's it, no more.
Can I have a dance?
Put on some speed for Molly. Oh, how I need. You know that? Someone to walk for me. That's enough. Stephen, no.
When you were growing up, what was she like? Did she always make you laugh, or was she quite serious? She had a lot of kids to
Well,
look after.
Leaving home at 16, I don't think I see a lot of when she got funnier as she got older, a bit like me. But it's, yeah, I don't know really. It's just happened. It keeps me happy, being silly, and I think that's the same with Mum. It gets you through the bad times. I think it's good to laugh.
Yeah, people do put a front on, don't they? And they
Yeah.
use humour a lot. I do that a
Yeah.
lot, and people think that I'm probably the happiest person out there. And all the work I put out there on social media, when you look behind it, and you know me as a person,
Yeah.
you know the truth. Nina knows the truth, but it can be a front. You know, I am a happy person, you know, inside and outside, but everybody's
I
got
cannot be serious.
That's
I
my
always
mum's
think
John
of him.
McEnroe impression.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, everybody's got their demons and their problems to deal with, but you have used humour a lot, and I have noticed you, I don't know, you inherited a sense of humour probably in the last 20 years, I reckon.
Well, since you've been in the business, I think it's your fault.
Yeah, you've been around the business and funny
Yeah.
people a lot, and I know that you like to.
I love comedy.
You are a punster as well. I don't know if you. A lot of people that
Is
follow
that
me on
rude?
Facebook, they do, no. It's, that a lot of people follow me on Facebook. They do notice your puns and laugh at your puns, and I probably
That
do
just goes
get.
in my head straight away. I have to write down as soon as I see something and I can answer it. I put it straight down, and then I'll worry about afterwards in case it was rude.
Well, that's the cancel culture. Will probably
Yeah.
be right on you now. They'll be watching you on Facebook. You're going to
Yeah.
be in Facebook prison if you're not too careful. Twitter prison.
Oh, that'll save on my electric bill.
Yeah, it will do.
Ice and teeth.
When I was growing up, I was really shy as a kid. Do you remember
was.
me being shy at school?
Yes, I do, because I even had a conversation with your teacher, because she said to me, you are very shy, because if you know an answer to a question, you'll put your hand up, but you won't answer in front of the whole class. The teacher said that she has to make you come to her and whisper in her ear what the answers were, and she actually told me that.
Wow.
When I went to parents' evening, that's it.
I don't remember putting my hand up. Well, now I
You're
do
doing
it for a
it all the
living. I do it for a living now. But I mean, I remember knowing answers, but I was too shy to actually put my hand up and tell them. But maybe when I was younger, I would do that and call them forward.
That's it, yeah, because the teacher wouldn't have
You've
told me
never
that,
told
would
me
you?
that ever.
Oh, haven't
before.
I? Oh, sorry. Well, now you know.
No, it's out there
You
now.
have to do podcasts and find out all the information.
Yeah, you do. This is like, who do you think you are, isn't it? I just found out, just spoken to a teacher.
I don't even know who I am.
Yeah. What were you like as a child? Because you have done productions at school, haven't you? And you told me that you once played Medusa.
One production up on stage, and the teacher said I was really good at playing Medusa. And then I said to her, I didn't want to do it in front of the school. As I was practicing, she said, you're really good. And then when it came to doing the show, I said, I can't do it. And she said, what's wrong? I said, I can't do it in front of people. I was too shy, so
Was
I
it
said,
the
I'm not
Medusa's the
doing
one with
it.
all the snakes on
A
their
Medusa,
heads?
yeah.
And you didn't want people...
Ugly, I didn't have no makeup on.
Yeah,
and
so you
nothing's
fit
changed.
really into it. so you
Nothing's
didn't want
changed.
people taking the hiss out of you.
Yeah, that's it.
You didn't have a
And they
hot
still
to
do
hiss
that
in.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the teacher put me in the background, and I was just making animal noises. Cows and sheep and stuff.
That's probably where I got it from.
Yeah, I expect so. Yeah.
Cows and sheep. So you were making all these animal
And
background noises and stuff in
Yeah.
the school, and
Laughing behind the scenes.
then you ended up meeting a farmer when you were 14.
Oh dear, yeah. Worst thing I've done. No, I'm joking. Moo.
Silly cow.
He made a move on me. We have been together 53 years.
You
now.
mean you? Oh, Dad. Yeah, you
Dad,
and
yeah.
Dad. 53 years. Wow.
53 years, yeah.
We just celebrated your 50th wedding anniversary earlier
Yes.
this year in April.
Yeah.
That
Not
was
many
fun.
people can say that.
No.
He's
So
not very well,
how many
no,
happy
bless him.
years have you had, though? Don't worry, I don't answer that. No, that's amazing. Growing up as a child in our home, you know, a family of 6. You had 4 kids:
Yeah.
David, Karen, then me, Steve, and Hayley. It couldn't have been easy.
Well, because your dad couldn't work because of the problems he had from an accident, we was quite skint, but we're still quite skint. And so the only thing we had to do was like go out for picnics, go walking in the country, swimming in a river. It's just, you know, we couldn't go to shows or anything like that. I didn't even know nothing about shows. I think that's what brought me out of myself, was because we never had that in our life, and I just enjoyed it once I started going to them.
So you never really went to West End shows or
Nothing,
anything?
never,
Even
ever.
social clubs? Nothing?
No. Cinema.
Comedy?
The last cinema we went to see was, I've forgotten his name now. It was a long time ago.
Charlie Chaplin?
No, not that far back. I wasn't alive then. Oh, I've forgotten what you know. I might remember in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. This is a part of getting old.
Yeah. I
Dementia.
can see right behind you now, there's a picture of Nan with a big smiley face right next to you there.
Oh yeah.
Nanny
keep it there.
Lilian.
I need to put it up on the wall, but
Yeah.
she's by my side.
She's
Yeah.
got a lovely face.
Yeah.
Did you go to any pantomimes when you was a child?
No,
Not even
nothing.
growing up, nothing?
No, nothing.
First panto you saw was with me in it.
Was you, yeah, and that was with who was that with? Because you've done a few, innit, that I've seen.
And Widdicombe, Craig River
Oh
Hall
yes,
was- yeah.
oh yes. Craig's a
Oh
lovely
no,
man.
oh no. And the Anvil, when I got to do the Anvil.
The Anvil,
eventually,
yeah.
And
And
I remember when I done panto at the Anvil, you and Dad kindly invited the whole cast around, and Anna Karen was in the panto, and
Oh yeah,
and
Dad made a
came-
curry.
yeah, invited around for curry, and her husband Terry, who I didn't know at the time was a water rat,
Oh, I didn't know that.
but
no.
yeah, you invited them round, and
To our
Terry
house.
said, can we come back again a week later? And you done 2 or 3 nights for them.
Yeah, because they stayed in Basingstoke, didn't they? But that was a night just for me, Anna, Terry and Terry.
The 2 Terrys.
Two Terrys.
It was really funny because I remember saying to Mum, I said, can you try and ask Dad just to be a little bit calm down a little bit, try not to use any bad language. Can you tell me about when she turned up?
Well, his name is actually, by my mum, is called Effie. So before Anna came round, I said to him, Terry, please, do you think you could just calm down when they do come round for a meal? I said, I know it's hard for you because it's a natural thing for him. And he said, yeah, I'll be all right. I'll behave myself. And then we're sitting down, we'd had the meal. Terry went and sat with Terry. I stayed up the dinner table with Anna, and she was chatting away, and all of a sudden she said, and I said, oh, I said, I told Terry to behave himself and don't swear. And I said, no, I'll cut you. And she said, oh, it. She said, I'm always swearing. Sorry.
That's funny. So she turned out to be a perfect match for Dad.
She was
actually.
lovely, absolutely lovely.
Down to earth and normal
Yeah,
people.
she was normal,
weren't
yeah.
they? And Terry was
it's only
great.
words, only swear
Yeah.
words, isn't it?
So they came round 2 or 3 times, and we had a couple of
Yes, they
dinners. I
did.
remember you made a pie, and all the cast came round as well.
Yeah.
You know, Barry. Remember Barry and
Yes, yeah, because we had a meal round there, we had a meal round Karen's.
A
I think he
Dane.
took all the curries round to
yeah,
Karen's house, and the whole cast was there.
4 or 5 things.
He
we
made about
organised.
30 odd curries, didn't he?
He did, bless him.
Oh, contributional.
You're trying to hide this and hoping that I was going to pass it, but you were quite naughty when you were a child, weren't you? Didn't you? When you were naughty to a
yes.
teacher, what happened?
Oh, right. We had a cookery lessons, but in the cookery lessons we also had first aid lessons. Well, this teacher was teaching us first aid, and she started to show us how to do bandages, and she sat in a chair and then she said, bandage my hand. So me and my friend, we bandaged both her hands to the chair and then we tied her legs to the chair. Although she was laughing, we was laughing, and we started tying the bandage all the way around her on the chair. And because we were quite near the head teacher's office, the head teacher heard us laughing and came in. We got called into the office and I got the ruler.
Did you?
for doing that, yeah.
Oh, why did they do that? On the hands?
Yes, across my hands. I had to put my hands... Oh, you can't see, can you? I had to put my hands out and done it across my hands. Because we shouldn't have been tying the teacher to the chair, but it was fun.
Well, the teacher asked you to do that, yeah.
Yeah, well, she said to do her hands, not tie her to the chair.
You just don't know when to stop, do
No.
you? As I remember growing up, Dad had a couple of fun friends. We always seemed to have a karaoke on a Friday or Saturday night, and Dad would come around and he'd be singing till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Well, yeah.
He always had the Bee Gees voice, didn't he? The Bee Gees or Brian Wilson. The high falsetto. My dad could always... He didn't sound great, but he could do his high voice.
He thought he could. But yeah, he should have sung that at our wedding, shouldn't he? Tragedy!
He could have done. Yeah. He knew how to have a party, and he always seemed to have people come round. I remember once, Dad had his... Who was the guy with the red hair? He used to come round with a monkey. He used to work for him. And then he'd bring a snake round. He brought a snake round the house. Then he brought a monkey.
Oh.
What was his name? Do you remember him?
Alex Carter.
Alex Carter. He used to bring loads of exotic animals just to entertain the kids.
Not puppets.
No, he brought like a little spider monkey round, and we had a little hold of him. That was lovely. And then he brought a snake. He was just
I've
really
got a picture
eccentric.
of him, the snake.
No, have you?
A snake with me and Dad.
Have you?
Yeah.
Not the monkey.
Not the monkey. No.
I
Couldn't catch the monkey.
Anyway, didn't you once be on a roof?
Oh, well, sort of. You know how you're not allowed on building sites? Well, when I was about 9 years old, I was playing in a building site with my brothers and sisters, and we'd gone into this house and it wasn't finished, and I said to him, oh, I need to go a wee. So I went to the smallest room upstairs where I thought should be a toilet, but obviously there was no toilet because it hadn't been finished, and I squatted, pulled my trousers down, squatted, had a wee, and I stood up to pull my trousers up, and the board that I'd peed on caved in, and I landed downstairs on the floor, and the board that I'd peed on landed on my head. So I was covered in pee, and I didn't know whether to laugh or cry because it bloody hurt, but it was funny. I couldn't tell my mum, so I don't know if I damaged myself.
A bit of a Frank Spencer moment.
It was, at 9 years old.
So you were with a friend at the time, were you?
No, my sister Debbie and Jane. Yeah.
Ah, were they both there?
Yeah, upstairs. I was downstairs.
That's not where you started, though, was it?
No.
So you're with my dad now, and you're dating a farmer, and you said you used to do animal noises, and then you're living on the farm now.
That's
so
it.
when did you move
I won't
in together?
tell you the noises that I used to make then when I met him.
No, don't.
Yeah, I was 14 when I started going out with him, and obviously we was together for a while, and I was 16 when we got married.
Wow.
Because there was my first child on the way. So he was never romantic, but just said, he didn't say, will you marry me? He said, we'll have to get married because you're having a baby. So he's never really been romantic. I mean, I think the first time he ever bought me flowers, I couldn't believe he bought them. I was doing a car boot, and then he came up to me with this bunch of flowers, and I said, what's this for? Why have you never buy me flowers? Why have you bought me flowers? And he said, because they were selling them for £1. I don't think I've had a bunch since.
So you got them on the car boot sale?
I got them in the car boot sale, cheap.
Wow. But he took you on dates and things. Didn't you go to Lakeside Country Club to see Dustin G and Les Dennis?
Yeah, that was our first ever, because of the firm that he worked for. They had, for the workers, a night out at Lakeside. And it was my first ever night at a theatre.
What was the first night?
Yeah.
Les Dennis and Dustin G.
Les Dennis and
Bob Potters, who, funny enough,
that's it,
and we will keep talking about this, but
he's a water rat.
thank you for finishing that. So what do you remember about that show? Seeing a comedy show for the first time?
Well, I was excited, and I don't think I've stopped being excited since going to theatres and things, which still don't do a lot of. because I can't get out because your dad's
You're
not very
caring
well.
for him, yeah.
I'm caring for him.
Not that you care for him.
No, I don't care for him, but I'm caring for him. No, I do really. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. No, but he lets me go out once a year to the water rats ball, and I absolutely love it. And my friend comes with me, so that's my one night out a year that I really enjoy. And I've not had it for 3 years.
What about
All
going
the water
out?
rats ball.
We have been deprived of the Water Rats annual ball, which has been very sad. And,
Yeah.
and our dear,
Understandable.
our dear King Rat, Dougie Brown, never got to put that on. And so, well, we're hoping for the best, aren't we, for 2023?
Definitely.
Just need to mention, now when I was 12 years old, you got 4 grown-up kids now, and I'm 12 years old. I remember you telling us, oh, there's a ventriloquist on TV tonight on a show called New Faces. We would always sit down and watch all the variety shows. That's one thing
yeah.
I really loved, what we'd
Yeah.
done as kids. We'd watch 3-2-1. We'd watch the Bobby Davro show, Russ Abbott, Les Dennis, Michael Barrymore, all of the shows.
All the comedies.
Saturday night, Friday night, you would always put that on for us, and we grew up watching variety.
That's right. TV's the only thing we could afford.
Yeah.
But it was
And
good because you
we
could
always-
see right up front. And
Yeah, we always sat round and watched it together as a family.
Yeah, we did.
Even the Royal Variety Show, we'd watch everything that
everything,
was on.
yeah. That's why I wanted you to be
Grumbleweeds.
on it. Royal Variety.
Grumbleweeds.
The Grumbleweeds, all of them. It was just exciting for us because we couldn't never go out anywhere, so
Yeah.
it was lovely.
And in 1987, at the end of November, New Faces, the final was on, and you told us to sit down. There's a ventriloquist from Basingstoke on it. His name was Jimmy Tamley.
Yep, he only
And-
lived down the road.
He was round the corner, and we watched him win the grand final in New Faces. And did you remember that?
I do, we was all excited, and then when you found out he was only down the road, you thought, I'll go and get his autograph, didn't you? So you went down, got his autograph.
Yeah, my mate Diddy lived opposite him, and he said, do you want to
He
meet
lives
him?
there.
So like the next day I went down after school, got his autograph, and then I think you wanted a picture, so I went back the next day to get an and Jimmy tells the story, I went back every day that week to get a picture for my family.
Drove him up the wall.
Yeah, and then it was 2 weeks later, Hayley came home, my sister, with a ventriloquist dummy within 2 weeks of that, and I asked if I could buy it off her.
of her, yeah.
And I
But she
did.
got it for nothing, but sold it to you.
I had a paper round at the time, and then I bought it off a HP, £1 a week for 5
£1
weeks.
a week for 5 weeks.
And,
That was a lot of money in them days.
do you remember when I started learning? What were you and Dad thinking at the time? You
You're
think
mad.
What little twats.
No, I just thought you was good. And for Jimmy, bless him, to say, ask your mum and dad if it's all right, I'll help you and give you some lessons, and which we allowed, and then you started from there and haven't stopped.
Did you not ever question like a 12-year-old walking into a 32-year-old man's house?
No, I didn't. I trust him because he asked permission. That's a bit different, isn't it? Because I liked Jimmy Tamley myself. I'm joking, Jimmy.
You was
if
a
you're
fan.
listening.
You was a fan.
I'm a fan.
So
yeah, I am
it
a
was
fan.
Jimmy and his wife. They invited me in. I had hot chocolates, and he gave me the best lessons to be a ventriloquist. And then I started roadieing for him. So I would roadie. He would teach me everything I needed to learn, all of that on the road. And then I remember starting to learn and started to get a little act together. And I remember you had friends come round. Liz and Kelvin used to be my first audience.
Yeah.
Liz and Kelvin, Mum and Dad, they come down probably every Wednesday, and you would have dinner, then you'd have drinks and a good laugh. You're in your late 20s, early 30s, I think. And I remember coming down with a dummy, and you and Dad said, go and do 10 minutes. So every
did.
week I'd come down and do a new 10 minutes for you all.
That's it. And you didn't charge us a penny.
No, I
That was-
didn't. My first
You still don't get a
audience.
penny now, do you?
I still do charity gigs now. Yeah, so your friends started to learn about my interests, and I
Yeah.
was getting, sort of more and more into it.
Then you started doing birthday parties, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I've actually bumped into someone, I think it was in, because everywhere I go I mention you, don't I? And I went to Morrison's and I was talking to staff behind the till and said something about you, and he says, oh, he'd done a party for my son, and he did say that he was going to look up some photos for you so I can show them to you. So you've done birthday parties at 12, 13 years old?
Yeah, some people have sent them on Facebook recently, and It's not embarrassing, but it's amazing to see 30 years ago when I started out.
Time flies when you're having
I was
fun.
17 then, so like 15, 16, 17 when I was doing the kids' parties. It's strange looking at them pictures when I was a young kid, I was a teenager, entertaining kids, doing all the parties. That was my groundwork, I guess. And then I went to college. I done a year in college.
That wasn't learning to be a puppeteer though, was it?
No, I was trying to be sensible, really. And you know, Jimmy Townley made me go to college.
Yeah, that's
it was his guidance really that said, Steve, you need to get a little bit more education behind you, have something to fall back on. And that's when you bought me that new mattress. Do you remember?
Oh yes.
And so Jimmy has always been there. So I felt like I've always had a third parent around.
Bless him, he's been really good.
He's good. Yeah, we still laugh and talk today on the phone, and we're godfathers to each other's kids. He's a great man, Jim. We'll always be there for each other. It is humour that's got us through, isn't it, Mum?
Definitely. You've got to have humour in this day and age.
I remember when I had normal jobs, you know, I was working in factories up until I was 22. I turned professional at 22. So age 12 to 22, 10 years apprenticeship with Jimmy Townley. But I never had a car really till I got to me.
No, we never had a car, did we?
So I needed lifts everywhere. And when I'd done talent competitions, you and Dad would drive me around to some of the talent shows.
But when you first started, we didn't have a car, did we?
No.
So you went to. He did actually take you on a train to Hamleys,
Jimmy,
not Twamleys.
Jimmy Hamley's house.
Jimmy Hamley's in London, and he took you on a train to buy your first puppet.
Yeah, it was that first puppet was a Pelham puppet at Hamley's.
Puppet.
You put your hand through, and my hand
Just
was
the
the
mouth.
puppet's hand. I called him Freckles.
Oh yeah.
Because I was inventive like you were with names.
Yes.
and because he had freckles, so I should have named him after my dad or my uncle.
Effie. Oh.
No, John. And then so I got to talk about our neighbours. Do you remember that row of houses we lived in Osborne Close in Basingstoke? It was like the European Union, because next door to us was the Welsh.
Yeah.
And next door to them was Scottish. Next door to them were English, I think.
They were English.
And then we had Irish on the end. It was like the United Kingdom in one.
It was,
wasn't it?
yeah.
Isn't that funny? That was Scottish, English, Irish, and
Welsh, and us.
Welsh,
and us.
and us, and we got a different language of our own.
Yeah.
At the Hewletts.
The Effies.
So I've been a ventriloquist now for 35 years, but I started to do holiday parks, and show business isn't easy. We found that out. I've had money, I haven't had money, and it comes in, it goes, and you know, and you learn lessons.
It's a struggle, isn't it?
And it's still a struggle, but we've had more difficult times recently. But so, what have you thought? What have you and Dad thought about my journey over the?
Well, just really proud of you, what you're doing, and
we know you've been proud. I mean, a lot of people on Facebook know that how proud you are.
That's your middle name, Proud. Steve Proud Hewlett.
Where'd you get Edward from?
Edward was my dad's middle name.
Oh, was it? It's my middle name.
Yeah, my dad's first name was Peter, but I didn't like Peter. I didn't really like Edward.
So what do you call me,
Eddie? Well, and Terry had a favourite cousin, and his name was Teddy, so he was Edward.
All right.
So that's Teddy Hewlett and.
Oh, okay, so it was Peter Edward Beard was your dad.
Peter Edward Beard, yes. He used to be the technical director of Rolls-Royce, and we've never had a Rolls-Royce, which would be nice to drive you around, wouldn't it?
Maybe it's nice, to talk to him now, because my car's just died.
What is yours? Was it a Rolls-Royce?
No, it was a Kia. In 2013, I got my big TV break, and you've been nothing but supportive over those years. But when I went on TV, you were there with your t-shirts. You were at the studio.
I wore it yesterday, didn't I?
You wore it yesterday, yeah.
9 years ago, I can't believe it, and it still fits me.
So, Britain's Got Talent opened up lots of doors for me, and I love inviting you to things. So we go to the Water Rats balls and stuff now.
I do try and behave myself.
Yeah, you do. Well, you do, but you don't.
I do and I don't.
One of the proudest moments for me, I'll ask you what yours is within my career, but one of the proudest moments was being at the Basingstoke light switch on. That was, and you were my guests that night.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely brilliant, and
the
whole of
fireworks
Basingstoke, clapping you, and I think, oh, that's my boy. But yeah,
That was really nice, wasn't it?
it's there's lots of things, and I can't remember all of them, but lots of them have made me proud. But I really think maybe coming out on stage, and I didn't know nothing. I didn't know you was in the final. You told me fibs.
Well, I had to get you there. So
I went to
I said, because I was
semi-finals.
kicked out of the semi-finals. Well,
Yeah.
you were at the semi-finals.
I was at semi-finals. That's what the T-shirt was for.
Oh, okay, so you come to the semi-finals, and we'll put that picture up so people can see it. Britain's Got Talent 2013. It was in June, and I got kicked out of the show. And then it wasn't until like 3-4 days later that I
On
knew
the
I was going to
Wednesday.
come back. And on the Wednesday, I was told that I was the wild card. I told you that all of the acts of the season have been invited to a party at the end of the season, so I've got you a ticket if you want to come.
You did say that you was doing
Doing little.
acts in between when the adverts were on the TV.
Oh yeah, I was going
that
to
you
entertain
did
the audience.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I told a little white lie.
But I wasn't allowed to say nothing to anyone. Just
Yeah.
told my granddaughter and grandson. I took them with me because your dad couldn't travel. So you said don't tell anyone. So I didn't, and that's really good for me to keep my gob shut. Don't throw my voice.
Yes.
And we sat there. The first act came on, and then the second act came on, and then I looked at my grandson, granddaughter, and I said, "Well, where's Steve? He hasn't even been on." And then the third act come on, and then the fourth act, it was Ant and Dec said, and the winner of the wild card is Steve Hewlett. Well, I didn't see his act because I was crying. I was, oh my God, I was screaming. I could just see him coming through the doors with all the dancers around him and Arthur Lager and Stephen in the middle.
I did not like it. I loved it. Through to the final is Jordan O'Keefe.
I was upset. Just to be in the final, that's all I wanted. Hello?
It's David Williams here. We have chosen you and Arthur to be the wild card this year.
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting that, but I just won the lottery.
Steve is the nicest guy you'll ever meet. It's not just a job, it's his life, and nobody serves this more than him.
From the age of 12, I put my heart and soul into being a ventriloquist. 26 years to get here, but don't ever give up. If I won Britain's Got Talent, performing at the Raw Writer performance would be a world to me. It is my dream to be on that show. The judges have chosen me for the wild card, so from the bottom of my heart, I thank them, and I'm not going to let them down tonight. We're in the final. No. Yeah. I thought I'd get through. I didn't think you would. This year's wild card, Steve Hewlett. Thank you very much. Yay! Careful, you're going to lose my voices. Oh, I got the wild card! No. Arthur, what? We got the wild card. What's it got to do with you? I make you talk. I made you famous.
And I was just so emotional, I can't explain it. I think that was the most emotional thing, because you didn't tell me that you'd already told Dad at 7:30 that night that you
I
was in
phoned
the
Dad
final.
because I knew he was at home watching it, but
Yeah.
I said I am the wild card. Mum doesn't know, she's in the studio, so
No, I didn't
it was
know.
quite nice. I was quite proud to tell him,
Yeah,
actually.
it's not very often you can keep things quiet from me, but you did.
No, I know.
No, the other way round, and me keep things
Yeah.
quiet. But
I'm
kept
just
it
picturing
quiet.
back when I was standing behind those 15 dancers before we came out into the studio, and it's an awful job that I've got. That was I only had my hand up one. That was
Not the dancer.
Arthur Lager. No. So
Simon Cowell.
yeah, we're talking about proud moments and stuff. I wanted to get it from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling you a horse, Mum, but
Oh, that's what your puppet is.
it's just. But when I became a water rat, that was another door, wasn't it, that opened? And yeah,
Getting me out.
yeah.
Once a year.
It gets you out at least once a year, and
Yeah,
there's a couple of
have
things you
fun.
can come to. And
And a dance. And a drink. I just enjoy myself.
It's more
And
humour.
it's proud to meet you all as well. You know, the water rats.
Yeah, well, it's
friends
kind
with
of
them.
funny when your mum joins Twitter and Facebook. You go, oh no, my mum's
her.
following me, but I never thought that. You do have your funny moments. Yeah, my mate Neil Warner, he comments on you. Your mum's so funny, and you banter with everybody. Yeah, but you've got such a good heart as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I love lovely people.
Yeah, I think I get my good heart, I think, from yourself, and I get my humour from yourself. I get my mood swings from my dad.
And your bad language.
I try not to. I only use that at the behind the wheel, but then I'm venting my anger behind
That's
the wheel,
it.
and they
You
can't
throw
see
in
my
your
lips
voice.
move. They don't know I'm screaming inside the car, but I don't move my lips. We talk about proud moments. Well, I talk about a part in my show actually where I say when I was 12 years old, we always used to watch the Raw Variety Show. And I sat there with my mum and dad, and my mum says, you're going to be on that one day. I said, do you really think so? And you say, yeah, you will be on it. If you believe in yourself, work hard, and don't ever give up, you'll be on the show. So all the way through my teens and my 20s, I watched the Raw Variety Show to see if I was going to be on it. And I still hadn't been on it. And I got to age 36, and then I got the call from ITV. And they said, Steve, will you come and audition at the London Palladium to be on Britain's Got Talent? And if you win that show, you'll be on the Raw Variety Show. And I thought, this is what my mum said like 25 years ago. So I auditioned for Britain's Got Talent. I went for it. I got to the final. I came fourth. I was 3 places away from my dream job. But I always remember what you said about work hard, believe in yourself, and don't ever give up. And I've always believed that, and I've always still hold on to that thought. And then at the end of the show now, I say, if you're watching the Raw Variety Show this Christmas, I am going to be at home watching it as well.
With you.
And still holding on to that dream. But you and I went to the Raw Variety Show in 2021, didn't we?
We did. That was absolutely brilliant.
It's amazing. The Royal Albert Hall.
Royal Albert Hall. I've never ever been there.
So you did make my dream come true.
I did. And I just remember walking in through the doors.
Went to the bar, didn't we?
Yes.
Who was the first person we saw?
It was Dougie Brown.
King Rat. Dougie Brown. And he, as he always does, he's the most delightful man.
He was lovely.
Walked up with a smile on his face. Mr. Hewlett. And every time I see him in Lodge, and I think we even done it at the Royal Variety Show, he does the best distant ventriloquist voice. He'll go... I always say, hello, Dougie. Hello, Dougie. I do it as a ventriloquist, and he laughs. He does the distant... So we get this really big hug and a little chat. Then Jackie, his wife, came up because she was getting the drinks. We said our goodbyes, and he went on to watch the Royal Variety Show. And he said something to you, and you made him laugh.
I made him laugh because I said to him, I'm really, really sorry. I said, I'm a friend of the water rat, so I've got a little badge, and I couldn't find it anywhere. I didn't know where it was. And so I found this one in place of it, and I think it ate the rat. It was a pussycat badge, but it was tiny, like the water rat's badge. And I said, I think the pussycat ate the rat. And he was laughing. So I made a comedian laugh, so that's good.
Well, he's one of the original comedians,
Lovely.
isn't he?
Yeah.
He's such a dear man. We love you, Dougie. It is an amazing business to be in. It's not been an easy business, but especially during the pandemic. The pandemic was devastating for many people. We didn't get to see you for a while, did we?
No, we all had to keep away from each other, but I bet you really enjoyed that.
My brothers and sisters, David, Karen and Hayley, and so you didn't even get to see them, and they live in the same town, so we had to stay away from each other.
Everyone. Yeah, well,
I remember the first
it's a good
meeting
excuse, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't need an excuse to
No,
not
don't
come and
need
visit.
No,
But you know, we're all different. We all had our jobs, and we've all struggled
families,
through, and
children.
families, and marriages and stuff. It's life, isn't it? It's a true soap opera.
Oh, we could
that
give
we
them
live.
a few stories, couldn't we? Really?
I think so.
I did see Dougie on Coronation Street though, so it does come true, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, we do really need humour to cheer everybody up, and
We do.
and you are such a fun mum. You really are a fun mum that gets you through
Fun mum,
everything,
fun.
and whether
With a
it's
big bum.
cooking you a sandwich, making you laugh. I just love coming home just to give you a big hug, because it is nice to hug your mum.
It is.
It's
The
like-
children never grow up, really, do they?
No, they don't. I'm 47 and I still
Yeah.
feel like a 12-year-old boy when I come home. And you still treat
That's why
me
you
like
haven't
one.
made it.
Yeah. And so
You should be on TV. I know that. I do think you should be on TV, and everybody says that to me, not just me because I'm your mum. Anyone listening on TV, producers, directors, take my son on.
To be continued.
Meeting all the stars. I just love meeting people that they're normal, but to me, they're big stars.
yeah, but they are normal.
They are normal, yeah. And I just feel like pinching them, say, "Oh, you are real," because I see you on the telly.
When I was growing up in my teens, I used to go to all the stage doors and stuff. Did you know that I was getting trains to stage doors to theatres to meet people, and I spent all of my factory and my pocket money that I would earn paper round on train fares to get the stage doors.
No, you sneaked to that, didn't you?
I used to sneak out a lot
on the trains like I
towns.
used to. So that must run in the family.
Yeah, I was running to get the train back. I missed it one night when I went to see Ken Dodd's.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ken Dodd moment. So I got a train after school on my own to see Ken Dodd. So I got to Portsmouth about 7 o'clock, and Ken Dodd started at 7. So they said, "Oh, you just missed him. He's gone in." And my plan was to get the train and be home by like 9 o'clock, so you wouldn't notice. So I missed him. So I stayed there until the end of the show. Little did I know that Ken Dodd goes on until 12:30.
And train stop.
Yeah, and so I met him, got a photo with him. He took my address. He said, "Oh, you'll work with me one day. Stay in touch." And then I got to the train station, and all the trains had stopped, and it was like 11:45, 1 o'clock. And I phoned our next door neighbour Brian, and he I
didn't even know that.
No, he told me off for phoning him that late. He said, "Don't do that again." I was crying because I couldn't get home, and I said, because we didn't have a phone at home. We didn't even have a landline. So I said, "Can you phone my mum? Can you knock next door to mum and tell mum and dad that I'm stuck and I'm sleeping on the train?" So I slept on the train till 5 o'clock in the morning. I got the train back at 6:30. I ran home, got home at 7 a.m.
Sneaked in.
I snuck back into bed. 20 minutes later, you woke me up 7:20 to go to school. Come down for your breakfast, and you didn't even know I'd been gone.
No, didn't know. Didn't know at all.
That's really bad parenting, isn't it?
It is terrible. When you got 4 kids.
You just want to get rid of one.
Yeah. When you go in and wake them up because they're going to school.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you'd gone that day. But then what could I have said when I used to go on trains up and down the escalators and...
At 6 years old.
6 years old.
Yeah, and I'm 13, 14. Yeah. And so, well, that was always going to be a passion of mine, you know. But now, it's nice that I can introduce you to these places and parties and
people.
You know. It is a fun business, isn't it?
It is lovely. I do enjoy it.
And I love having you there, because it really is nice showing my mum off. Because a lot of people know about you. And
Mrs. H.
Mrs. H. They say what a good heart you've got, which is nice. Well, this has been my mum, Sharon Hewlett, on Eyes and Teeth. Sharon, would you like to wrap it up?
What with?
Some wrapping paper?
Wrapping paper.
We always had a great childhood, by the way. I want to thank you for our childhood. We always had presents. You never had money, but we always had presents.
No, because I went round nicking it all. No, I didn't really. No, I didn't.
we always did have a great Christmas. And you made that with the funds that we now know that you didn't have.
Yeah.
You always made it happen. So thank you for that.
Trying harder now.
You looked after our kids, but you look after our grandchildren even more.
Oh, yeah. I love my grandchildren. They keep me going. But we can hand them back. But we couldn't hand you to anyone.
You handed me to Julie Tamley when I was 12.
Yeah.
Well, Sharon, thanks for being on Eyes and Teeth.
That's okay.
Thanks for being a guest, and thanks for listening to Eyes and Teeth.
I have to listen to it. It's my bedtime story because I can't sleep properly, but I do feel comfort and relaxed when I've listened to it.
Right.
and happy, so I snooze. I go to sleep.
Yeah, so my podcast put you to sleep. That's all we needed to hear. Thanks for that.
But not like that. You know what I mean.
No.
Not like that at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a very dysfunctional family, as Peter Piper called us, didn't he, once? And
I love all my kids. I'm really proud of all of you for putting up with me and your dad. And but carry on, enjoy yourself, be happy, keep smiling, keep laughing, and hurry up and put that ball on. Bye.
Eyes and Teeth.
Hello, Nanny. Larissa. Love you.
Happy Mother's Day, Sharon. Sharon. Happy Mother's Day, darling. Don't work too hard, please. Calm down a little bit. Don't work so hard. Do you hear me, Sharon? Terry, tell her she's not to work so hard. All right, Terry? Get in the corner, have your cup of tea. You can't have that. All right, Terry? Green grass. Go, all go say green grass. Hello, green grass.
Happy Mother's Day, Sharon. Lovely, darling. Happy Mother's Day, Sharon. I'm thinking of you and Steve's thinking of you. Have a great day, because you deserve it.
Okay, Sharon. Happy Mother's Day from one lovely mama.
Happy Mother's Day, Sharon. It's fine. Can you just say into camera, Happy Mother's Day, Sharon? Happy Mother's Day, Sunday. Get out your bed. No, in fact, stay in your bed, but you'll make your breakfast.
Sharon, Happy Mother's Day. We love you.
Hi, Sharon. Happy Mother's Day from the Nolans. Hope you have a lovely day. Take it easy.
Happy Mother's Day, darling. May you live to see many, many, many more.
Hi, Sharon. Happy Mother's Day. Oh, let's hear it house.
Happy Mother's Day, Sharon.
Hello, Sharon. This is me, Carmel, outside stage door, Mangle. I want to wish you very happy Mother's Day. All my love.
Here, while I'm recording this, Lola sat next to me. Got a message for Nanny?
Yeah, I love you, Nanny.
Cheers, Lola. Thanks to my mum for joining me on this special season podcast, a podcast that talks variety and comedy. And I know during the lockdown it not only helped my mental health and well-being, but it was her saviour at bedtime and kept her company with over 200 episodes from 2020 to the present day. You can say hello to Sharon on Facebook, she will say hello back, or Instagram. She even followed me on Twitter, that's why I left. I'm joking, I left because I'm not paying for a blue tick. Sharon does not have a website. Today's quote comes from the Beach Boys. And I can break away to the better life, where the shackles never hold me down. I'm gonna make a way for each happy day as my life turns around. My mum knows the relevance of that, and so does my dad Terry. Eyes and Teeth is written, produced and hosted by Steve Hewlett, vocals by
Me, Lola,
Nina and Larissa, additional vocals by Rich T. The Eyes and Teeth music and jingles are produced and performed by Kevin Dean. Join me on the next Eyes and Teeth special when I will be talking to Jimmy Tamley, the ventriloquist that got me started. This time we will be talking on part 2 about my upcoming book Ventriloquist and mentioning our favourite ventriloquists. See you soon.
bye.